think we can start up by saying, actually, I don't know what to say.
Welcome.
To the
Hello,
first
welcome.
episode of, Woke Up to Niggas Watching Like Me, coined by Mykey. So what this basically is it's gonna be a show about us reviewing television, movies, anything under that umbrella, whether it's a web show or not. I think that's all television, right? You can consider that
Yeah, I
all
think
television.
yeah. It'll end up on TV anyway, so then doesn't fucking matter.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
Ruby not on TV.
We're reviewing that?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
If we do, then that's gonna be probably the least controversial episode we ever put out.
Yeah, because it's just gonna be us
Cause
crying
nobody,
about how shit the show is.
yeah, cause nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody we know is gonna watch it and be like, yeah, you're wrong. Niggas gonna be like, all right, relax.
Oh,
Fucking
niggas are
don't be
definitely
like,
gonna get me the fuck out of here for this.
who's
Actually,
gonna?
no,
All
they're
right,
not.
I'll get out
Cause
of here. You're gonna be the good guy. I'm gonna be the bad guy.
no, that's not bad. That's not true. I
On the
mean,
Ruby episode,
oh no, I'm
I'm
talking
gonna be
about
the bad
this
guy.
episode.
Oh, this episode we're both the bad guy. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I how do I say this? I actually looked at it from a very neutral standpoint.
I did not. I looked at it
I know
from
about you.
what I like, what I don't like. Because I can only go off of personally. Because I can't go off of what people might have wanted. Because this shit came out 16 fucking years ago, and people still proclaim it as like one of the best
It's a
shows,
goddamn lie.
best DC shows that's ever been put out. Oh, this shit is hard. Fuck Teen Titans Go. They should just bring this back, and they still run it. So I have to look at it from like, yeah, if I'm watching this for like the first time now, and it kind of is the first time I'm like watching it together instead of just like random episodes coming on. I'm a fucking kid and I want to see niggas hit niggas, and that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So looking at it from there, that's that's how I'm looking at it. I'm like watching it nowadays. What I like, what I don't like, and there's a lot of what I didn't like in this show. So
I can
it's just
understand that. So, what we're basically going to do is we're going to give you each a rundown of each episode and what we thought was good, what we thought was bad, and then at the end, we'll give a final score and then some final thoughts just to give a little bit of an outline on how this is going to work. So, to open up, the show opens up with the first episode that is Divide and Conquer. It's a series opener. It's not an origin episode, which was common for all super or not most or not all most superhero shows at the time, which was what 2003 2002.
yeah,
It started with a drop zone episode, and what drop zone means is that it's not an origin story. There's no introducing you to these characters in like a full breakdown. The show just starts and everybody acts as if the show has been going for however long,
for fucking seasons, bro.
which is very good. This is probably how DC should have did their cinematic universe thing or whatever. Instead of trying to build it the same way Marvel did, you just do drop zone movies. People know who these characters are. Hell, even the
See,
characters they don't know, you don't even have to explain them. Just
yeah,
do the thing.
I like and I don't like that they just kind of dropped in and put these people here because at the same time it's like I don't want to I don't have to teach you who these characters are because then you're gonna start comparing them to our iteration. But at the same time, these characters were not popular back then. So it's like if you know, you know, and if you don't know. And a lot of people didn't know, but I guess that's what they were looking for, so that they can like build who these characters are as the show goes on.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So I'm like, I kind of like that. I kind of don't like that.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So, Divide and Conquer opens up with it's a Robin and Cyborg focus episode. So it opens up. There's a jailbreak of some sort. Cinderblock, he debuts in this episode. Plasmus also debuts in this episode. And as the Titans are fighting Cinderblock, Robin and Cyborg eat shit, trying to do a combination move. and then that leads to them arguing and Cinderblock getting. I'm just gonna detour here quickly. Cinderblock is probably the
Mhm.
most trash villain they've ever put in this show.
Bro, that guy's scaling is so
He
on and
does
off.
nothing but get beat up. He's a giant man. He's about 12 feet tall, made of concrete, and all he does is get kicked in his chest.
You're getting kicked by regular ass people, no powers. Like
Getting kicked
how?
by
How is
Robin in his chest. We'll come back to that because there's a point in this season where Cinderblock actually just gets scaled down to a regular person.
fucking work? That shit is crazy.
So it opens up with them botching the combination move. Cyborg leaves, and it doesn't seem to be like the show doesn't seem to be too far into their tenure as the Titans because nobody really fucks with each other. Everybody's kind of distant. Like there's a friendship in the fact that they all live in the tower and they're all superheroes and they all have a job to protect people. But you can tell that everybody's kind of just like distant. Like Raven keeps to herself completely. She's kind of just there on screen when she needs to be. Beast Boy is, well, trying to impress everyone. I guess I don't really know. I don't know what his character. I mean, I guess it's his character throughout the entire show. But Starfire is still super alien. She's still trying to integrate into Earth customs and whatever that is. And we go through the episode. They're saying we don't need Cyborg. They show Slade talking about plasmids and stuff like that. He has Cinderblock open up the tube and wake him up. Then the Titans start fighting plasmids in this warehouse, and they get shit on. They're getting shit on by these muck creatures, and everybody's just trash. And then as Robin is about to fall in this vat of acid, here comes Cyborg. And just like that, no exposition whatsoever, we're friends again. I just don't get it. Like they tried to build the tension. Another big problem with this show is that they don't they didn't have many episodes. Like every season is roughly like 13 to 15 episodes long. So you don't really have much time for exposition, which means that things kind of just happen and get resolved because they need to be resolved by the end of the episode, and you don't really have the space to take care of these issues. So Cyborg walks off screen for a bit and is just gone, and then it's the rest of the Titans in the tower doing whatever it is. Cyborg is never mentioned, nothing, whatever. He just shows up in this segment to save Robin, and it's like, yeah, I was being a jerk. All right, we got a job to do, and then everybody just goes back to their stuff. Plasmus gets defeated by Cyborg because apparently Cyborg's sonic cannons just shit on that guy. So they beat him with that complete combination move. And it turns out that Cyborg is able to 1v1 Cinderblock. So this is the beginning of Cinderblock being a foot soldier. He's actually a member of the Foot Clan, but he's 12 feet tall and made of concrete. It really doesn't make any logical sense, but
Yeah, that guy has the worst scaling in the show.
how do you
And it,
feel about Cyborg kind of just turning up and being like, "Hey, I'm here now. What's up?"
I think it's trash because what is the point of him leaving if they don't learn anything? They technically learned that yeah they need each other to be like a team, but clearly not if Cyborg just trashed Cinderblock on his own. And then
Cyborg actually ran him over and tied a
if
girder
anything,
around his.
yeah, if anything, they were right for splitting up because Cyborg got more done without them. Maybe they need each other sometimes to like take on special villains. They don't really need each other like that. Not even like a not even like a let's both acknowledge our differences and our strengths and then move together as this better. It's just yeah, we got to get this guy, and you're better at getting him than we all are together. Even though Raven is kind of telekinetic, so
Raven
let's
is
come
another
back.
inconsistency.
So it's stupid. I don't like it. I didn't like this one too much.
Yeah, no, it's one. It falls into the line of one of those weirdo episodes that kind of just don't need to exist. And Slade appears at the end of this episode and manages one of the greatest feats in the history of this show. He slams his fist on the arm of his chair, and it breaks the entire teacup resting on the chair.
That's the best way to show he's got gas.
But he doesn't have gas because later on they show you that he doesn't have gas at all. So the next episode is Sisters. It's a Starfire focus episode. It debuts Blackfire into the series. So Blackfire comes to Earth, and it turns out that she's hiding from, I guess, either space police or bounty hunters or whatever. And it's a classic episode of, hey, my sibling is here, and my friends love my sibling more than me at the moment because my sibling is interesting and better than me in every way, shape, and form. Except, well, she's a criminal. She's a criminal, so the episode opens up. Starfire and Robin are on the Ferris wheel, and then some space squid robots come to the Ferris wheel, or not the Ferris wheel, but the carnival in general, and they attack the carnival, try and kidnap Starfire. Well, not kidnap, but they're trying to arrest the wrong person because for some reason, I guess the robots are blind, and all Tamaranians just look the same. Even though that's not the case, we figured that out later when they decided to like add some more to the exposition of the characters and the races. Not all Tamaranians look the same, but I guess because her and her sister have similar builds, that's why they made the mistake. I don't know. So the Titans break down the robots. That's when they get back to the tower and Blackfire is waiting for them. And like I said, it's a vintage. My sister is better than me at everything. She's better at video games. She's more accustomed to Earth customs or in the English language, and she's just cooler. They end up going to a rave for some reason. Then Starfire and oh wait, there's a very key moment that's brought up while they're all talking. So Robin says that his cape is made of some alloy that makes it as durable as titanium, which really doesn't make any logical sense because I've seen those capes get tattered and ripped and destroyed by very regular means. And it becomes important later, which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's that Batman tech, man.
So gets kidnapped by the another set of I guess robot squids, and the Titans hop in the action, and you can tell something is off because Blackfire is kind of just like, I don't care, I don't. Robin's like, is this not your sister? Oh, right. So right there, everybody should know. Robin knows that she's sus, and she gets carried off to the bounty hunter ship, where Robin chases them. And when he's on the ship and the police shoot at him, they shoot their laser guns at him. He pulls his cape over his body and it blocks the lasers. I'm pretty sure it reflects said lasers as well. Going back to that, his cape is as strong and as durable as titanium,
That's
which, like I said, doesn't make any sense.
That's Batman tech. Just
I don't
relax.
care if it's Batman tech. It doesn't make any damn sense.
You thought that shit
So,
was raw, and it kind of was.
yeah, okay, it was, but it's stupid. The bounty hunters and Robin come to an agreement that this is clearly not the Tamaranian they're looking for. Then they arrest Blackfire and they leave. It's another throwaway episode. So what I realized is the way these seasons are structured is that only a couple of episodes really link together for that big overarching story in for the season. So for season one, it's the story of Robin and Slade and how that gets dealt with. And so you'll see Slade appear at the end of certain episodes, in the beginning, in the middle, and everything is about Robin's obsession with Slade. So episode 3 is Final Exam, which is, Final Exam probably should have been the first episode because
I
it
think
makes the
it's
Titans look really fucking bad.
yeah. It says that it was aired first, even though like on the DVD it's listed as a third.
Yeah, cause I remember seeing Final Exam first, and I didn't really, but Divide and Conquer came up first on whatchamacallit. I think it was like WB when it was airing. It was like weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess because they aired it in order. I don't. Well, this is
No.
a good
Yeah.
first episode anyway, because it's another Drop Zone episode, but it does a better job of showing that they're not exactly a team than Divide and Conquer. Because Divide and Conquer was just stupid. It was just they fucked up. Cyborg was like, "All right, fuck you, Robin. I'm out of here." And then he came back at the end of the episode anyway because he realized it just didn't make any sense.
This one definitely should have been two parts though.
Oh yeah, easily. This is they set it up to be a two-parter, but it was just a commercial break. It makes no sense. Like the part where you would put the to be continued is a commercial break. Actually, no. There's 2 points of this episode that should be a commercial break, but we'll get into it. So, Final Exam is the Hive Trio debut. I swear to God, they were called the Hive Five. I guess that's later. I guess it's like more of a season 4, season 3 thing, where they
Yeah,
add
probably.
the Eye Guy and whatever the other guy is. I swear there was 5 of them, but it doesn't matter. So the episode opens up. Titans are at a pizza shop eating pizza, and when a bus is sent runaway. Actually, the episode opens up with a video package showing off Jinx, Mammoth, and Gizmo and all their great abilities, and Slade is just like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll take them. They're probably not going to beat the Titans, but whatever. So they're making Slade out to be, well, Slade is a really smart guy, but they're setting him up to be this really calculated guy that writing kind of disappears as time goes on. It's a vintage. You don't want to make your villain too smart, so you make them really smart initially, and as the episode goes on, they fall into the fold of how the other villains work.
Yeah, they just lose it. Their plan just falls apart because
They
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 get
lose
picked
all the
apart.
gas that they have, but it's subtle, and if you're not really paying attention, you don't catch it. So a bus is sent careening towards the middle of the city, which I found out was called what was it? Damn, I forgot what the city was called already. I looked it up too, but apparently it's supposed to be New York,
Really?
and Titan's Tower is supposed to be like I guess where the Statue of Liberty would have been.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's Jump City. Yeah, there you go. So it's Jump City, but and I guess that makes sense that Metropolis and Gotham would be relatively close. Because Gotham is supposed to be Jersey, right? But isn't Metropolis supposed to be New York?
I did not know Gotham was supposed to be Jersey.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, come on, man. It's dark, it's dirty, it rains a lot. You've got a lot of criminals running around and a guy in a bat suit.
That seemed like
Where
New
else could
York
that happen
activity to
but New
me.
Jersey?
That seemed like New York activity to me, not no damn
That's enough.
New Jersey.
Yeah, well, that's what we got here with with this. Jump City, New York. There you go. Anyway, what happens here is there's a bus sent towards the middle of the city. The Titans set up to stop it, and one by I don't even it's not even one by one. It's like two by two. They get blown up by Jinx, and then I think it's Starfire and Cyborg that Mammoth drops the bus on them. Like they stand there and they let Mammoth drop this bus on them, and it makes no sense. Like I understand that it's a cartoon and logic really isn't in the window, but logic in the universe is a very big thing with a show like this. Like you just think that standing there and getting a bus dropped on you isn't optimal. So with spots like that where I believe Beast Boy turns it. No, this was in the. He turned. I believe he turned into T Rex, and Mammoth just threw him at Raven, and it was just a big. It was a squash. The Hive Trio absolutely dismantled the Titans, and they get dropped into the sewers, and Robin completely disappears. Where Robin goes, nobody knows.
Literally nobody knows. It's just his belt is there, and then he turns up later.
Gizmo
So
slaps a rocket to Cyborg and sends him off to nowhere. Star goes after him, and then Beast Boy and Raven are left. They hobble back to the Titans Tower. God knows how they got there. This is where we found out that Raven can heal people, because she heals Beast Boy's leg. And then this is that weird scene where they do that didn't just happen. Tell me that didn't just happen. And then Starfire and Cyborg come in. And that's when Cyborg says, I was halfway to Gotham City before Star got the rocket off my back. And I was like, wow, that's really fucking close. So then everybody gets together and it's like, where's Robin? We don't know. Star is now in panic mode and is saying you need to look harder. We scaled the entire city. Like we can't find him. He's gone. Robin is literally off the grid somewhere. And they do a really good job to draw the parallels between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne at this point in Robin's career. Where he's not necessarily Nightwing yet, but you can tell that everything he does is super Batman.
yeah,
Like
he's getting
just in
closer
this
and
season
closer.
alone. What was that?
He's getting closer and closer to like being his own thing, even though technically kind of is, but
No,
not
he's
full on
not.
solo yet.
Not in this season, because everything he did is like vintage Batman. It was nuts. So Robin is completely gone. They're off the grid, and then the Titans hear the front door open. But surprise, it's the Hive Trio because you guys live in a big tower off the coast of the city that pretty much lights up and says, "Yeah, here we are." So after a quick brawl, the Titans are kicked out of the tower, and then they're left on the beach after getting struck by a tidal wave from Jinx, whose powers don't make any sense either. It's supposed to be bad luck, I guess, but it looks like magic. Like
Yeah, that's
they
kind of like I guess they a good parallel to draw would be MCU Wanda and like the description of her powers, where hers is probability, and then you cut to Endgame and she's just gripping Thanos about to crush him with magic, and it's like how is that probability at all? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Cause Wanda's makes sense. Cause it's reality manipulation, and I guess you can just make yourself strong or whatever, or you can just crush people into atoms or some shit. But Jinx said they said yeah, her power is misfortune, and there are some spots where, like, I don't know, dropping somebody through the floor, or making the bolts come loose on scaffolding or some stuff like that. That's great. This tidal wave tsunami thing looked dumb. Cause I don't know if that's bad luck. That's just death. That's an entire just death. So the Titans are sitting on the beach. They've been beaten twice. They've been kicked out of their home this time. There's no Robin in sight. They're literally about to quit. They're about to pack their shit and go. And then Robin appears out of nowhere. They also took Cyborg's arm in this exchange, and they're trying to mount his arm on the wall like you would a deer's head, or whatever you wanna, I guess, a trophy.
Yeah. Him
Then
being touchy about like Gizmo messing with his body through the whole episode was good, and then him like being especially mad that he just lost his arm and freaking out on them at the end was good. It's a shame that it's just undercut by Robin just showing up. Hey, I'm back, and
yeah,
Robin's
like,
like super like neutral about everything. Not that he just disappeared and just left. He's just
so
like, hey
yeah, no,
guys.
I understand that. The Titans are on the beach. They're like, damn, it's really over. Cyborg, like Tuck said, was mad about being controlled by Gizmo, losing his arm. Everything went wrong. He's actually about to disband the entire team, and then out of nowhere comes Robin from the pocket dimension and says the fight's not over. Nah, and then we cut to a commercial break. Because, like I said, they don't have much space to work with, so they can't really make two-parters unless it's going to be at the end of the season, or whatever.
Definitely could have cut some of these damn episodes.
Yeah, no, they definitely could have cut Divide and Conquer. They could have cut Sisters. Forces of Nature, they could have cut that too. Some of his parts, they could have cut that. They definitely could have did more two-parters. I think that's the formula they should have went with. Because at least you can do a lot with an arc in 2 episodes. And you're doing 13, right? So yeah, and then you can do a lot. So basically what happens next is the Titans manage to formulate a plan with Robin. Robin, using his amazing Batman-like powers of deduction and understanding, has completely figured out how to beat the Hive trio. That's gonna bother me. Good thing they're only 1 episode, thank God.
Should have been a more, but yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
probably would have messed it up.
they definitely messed that shit up. They should have been. It's not about them, is the problem. Granted, they should have been Slade's hired assassins, since they were in this episode, but who knows, man. I don't know what they were thinking. They were just writing stories. That's what all these episodes are. It's just random stories from that feature all the characters. The end of Final Exam was that they rallied together. Robin has figured out how to beat each and every one of them using their own powers and the Titans' powers. They get Jinx to loosen all of the bolts in the scaffolding and drop it on herself. How she lived, I couldn't tell you. A combination of Raven, Starfire, and Beast Boy beat the shit out of Mammoth. Somehow, Raven's able to send him into the elevator and carry the momentum so that he's thrown out of said elevator. Beast Boy scares him with using the Tyrannosaurus. Oh no, it was Starfire that did it. Starfire threw that starbolt and it carried him up 40 feet through that elevator and then popped him out. And then Cyborg finally got the jump on Gizmo, crushed his backpack, and then that's the end of that episode. They just subdue the Hive, and there's a nice little end piece here where Slade is just like, yeah, I knew they weren't gonna win. Um, it's all about him, and then it's Robin on all 47 of his TV screens. showing that yeah, he's gonna be gunning for Robin the entire season, or so you think. I just don't understand how it took them losing twice for Robin to realize, damn, there's five of us and three of them. We should probably be beating their ass. I don't know.
Yeah, uh, I thought it was like the hive is cool, but that's the way that they structure these fights is just it's just nutty. But I guess that's why, because like these are literally the people who can have matchups that beat them. I don't know how, even though Raven and Starfire could probably wash Mammoth or Beast Boy, but
The only bro, they treat Beast Boy so bad throughout the entirety of the series.
he's trash.
Like they
I'm
they
starting to
treat
think
him
he's trash.
so bad.
Even in his episode, he's trash.
Like it just doesn't make any sense. Forces of Nature is episode 4 of season 1. It's a Starfire and Beast Boy focused episode. It opens up with Beast Boy playing a mean-spirited practical joke that was meant for Cyborg but ends up hitting Starfire, and there's a rift between those two characters for the episode. And Beast Boy, I guess, learns it's an after-school special on bullying this episode, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Hey, be nice, guys.
So Thunder and
That's
Lightning are roaming through Jump City, blowing shit up because who's gonna stop them? They're superpowered beings. Man, I don't know. That shit's fucking weird.
no, you don't need to recap this one. This one was trash. Like the whole episode boils down to Beast Boy getting through this stupid one. Hey, your brother's lying to you. You're hurting people. You shouldn't be doing this. And then it's that back and forth, ham-fisted. Like, don't hurt people, which makes sense. But like, how did he? It's just stupid for him to be this dumb and then not understand that you're not supposed to be doing some BS like this.
Well, they're
But I
they're
guess
demigods or gods. I don't remember which one it is. But
I
so
think
they
Demi.
really don't. Gods have no perception of right and wrong. You've played a video game before.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was trash the way they handled it. But I guess the whole point of the episode is just to have Slade as this old guy
Yeah,
and have Robin fight him.
didn't even fight him.
I thought he hit him, and then his mask or his fake old man get up broke,
His
and
fake
then
face.
yeah,
You
fake
know
mask
that
and the
all
mask, shit broke.
yo all the times that Slade appears on screen isn't Slade.
Pretty much.
They're robots.
I don't think they actually he steps out of that crib until then.
No, he doesn't step out. Period. They stepped in his crib.
Oh, well, actually, no, you're right.
No, the
Yeah,
entire
because
time he
even when
doesn't
he
leave
was
the base.
yeah, even when he was beating his ass on the rooftop, that too was a
That
robot.
was a robot.
Jesus Christ.
Every time you see any iteration of Slade in the field, it's either a dreamscape or it's a robot.
That guy.
That guy's a genius. Except not really, because he's dumb as fuck by the end of the
All these
season.
damn tech and parts. I'm staying in the house today. You sure? Yeah.
You know what's
What's
crazy?
going on?
Robin was really getting washed by that damn robot too.
There are a couple robots that caught these guys fucking slipping.
That's what I'm saying. Them Slade bots were crazy. So, we pretty much gave you the quick rundown of that episode. Beast Boy plays a mean-spirited trick. Thunder and Lightning are dumb as hell. Beast Boy sets them straight. They fix the forest fire and magical fire creature they created through their recklessness. And between the end of this episode and calling all Titans in, I believe it was season 5, they give them communicators. This is a throwaway episode. Like, especially since this comes after Final Exam, this could have been Final Exam Part 2. And you could have put Thunder and Lightning in that Hive 5. then it looks a lot better, and they can actually win and lose. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not my
I
show.
think the same thing. Although I just don't like those two like at all. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they never appear again, so it doesn't really matter. The next time they appear, they're getting off screen by the fucking Brotherhood of Evil or whatever the fuck is called.
Uh, you tell the one guy, hey, what you're doing is bad. The other brother's like, nah, it's cool. And it like the other like lightning pulled the line of just being straight up maliciously evil, like so hard. But then he's also turned, and it doesn't make sense. It takes this fire demigod for them to be like, wait a minute, maybe not. And
They
I
really
think that's
summon
trash.
this fire golem that's stomping throughout the forest, causing forest fires, and they're like, wait a minute, this is our fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't say.
Beast Boy sitting there molding. Are you are you dead ass? Oh, so you guys get it now. All right, cool. And then he makes up with Starfire, and then that's the lesson, guys.
Fuck. Man, okay, so we're gonna go quick time through all the episodes that really don't have anything to do with the series. Some of
Yeah.
his parts, Cyborg focus, is the debut of Mumbo, who will be a recurring villain through the later seasons of the show. They debut Fix It. It's his one and only appearance for the entire franchise. He's an unintentional antagonist. What it is that he got dumped into a landfill. Cyborg's body or his batteries were dropping off, and instead of going and changing his batteries out, Cyborg wants to rush into action, and then his batteries die completely. So he ends up in the landfill that Fix It is at. Fix It is like, damn, you're a cyborg and not an android. You're damaged. So I'm going to fix you by making you an android. And Cyborg's like, no, me being a cyborg is what makes me special. It really doesn't. That's what he tells himself, and I guess it's like his driving character force, but whatever.
Yeah, it's good for Cyborg to like have that, but the fact that like the two parts of this episode is Cyborg in this lab, and then them just chasing Tom Kenny around, trying to beat the hell out of him, trying to beat the piss out of him, and then Cyborg is like moments away from getting converted, and they're still just like, wait, not here. Like they could have put this in any other episode in some way,
Bro,
but they decided to give it its own episode, which kind of like I don't know, just it just lessens away from me because it's just like that's the entire like they begin the episode with this what is it the kid with the amputated leg, hey, you're just like
it's the
me.
arm. Yeah, he has a
Yeah, the arm.
prosthetic arm.
Hey, you're just like me. And then at the end he's like, hey, you're just like me, and then Cyborg says some like really prolific shit to him, and I'm like, okay, like
No,
they really
he was like, oh, the prosthetic isn't what makes you like me. It's the fact that we're both human. That's what makes. He says to fucking after, bro. I'm telling you, this show is ruined by it trying to be an after-school special.
yeah, like just put this with the rest of the action against like actual villains instead of like Fix It being his own human or his own, I guess, villain. When in reality, like Tom Kenny's out here robbing people, and that guy's powers are cool as fuck.
Yeah, they are. That season 4 episode, how to make a Titan animal disappear. That's one of the greatest shits ever. Bunny Raven slash how to make a Titan animal disappear or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but it sounds cool.
You don't remember the episode where they turned Raven into a rabbit and then Beast Boy was stuck as a bear?
Nah, I don't think I didn't see every episode. I seen a majority of them, which is like partly why I was like excited to watch this, and then we got to some of these episodes, and I'm like, wow, I
Yeah,
really
season
wish
one
they
is
could get
rough.
this. So we'll see later on if this is the hype that people are talking about. But
Yeah, so Tux pretty much gave you everything. They try to beat the piss out of Mumbo. Where Cyborg, I don't know where Cyborg is. I didn't do anything.
you
You
must
guys are
be
trying to
still.
beat me up. You've broken my magic wand. I can't do anything. How this guy gets his
Yes,
magic
no,
wand
man.
back later is beyond me, but sure.
And then Nevermore. Uh,
This is actually a good episode, but it has
yeah,
no relevance in this season.
it should have just been put later, like with the Trigon stuff. But I guess this is like a, hey,
Precursor.
yeah, just a bad omen of like what happens in Raven's head and like with her powers. I guess there's like this is just sprinkling exposition for everybody because Starfire had some stuff,
No,
Cyborg had
Starfire and
some
Raven
stuff.
had nothing.
I mean, it's like a little bit.
Can we
Starfire
go
had a
check
little
on
bit of
Raven now? No.
yeah.
Now? No.
Oh no, I'm not talking about through the episode. I'm talking through the season. Like they're getting like bits of like character
Oh
exposition
yeah,
and stuff
they're
like
giving
that.
you they're getting you used to all these characters. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then Raven is just like this is bigger than anything Starfire has gotten, and we straight up see Trigon, but uh, it's just it's good to see that. I guess her relationship with Beast Boy and Cyborg, because as a kid, you might not be able to tell if she actually does not mess with these niggas or not. So,
That shit is
and then
crazy.
yeah, and then she opens up almost killing Doctor Light.
Bro,
That was
okay,
my favorite
so
part.
that episode of Doctor Light, or the beginning of this episode, is awful. Cause Doctor Light thinks he's hot shit. He's blinding everybody. He's doing great stuff. Then here comes Raven, old grumpy ass. Doctor Light gets molested by shadow tentacles under Raven's cloak, and he comes out all crusty. Like
That was
you,
getting killed.
you know what happens when you put paper in the rain and then let it dry? That's how that guy came out from under her cloak. that, she scarred the fuck out of that guy, and the
Yeah,
fact that he turned back to a life of crime after that,
he's brave. I gotta give him
as
props.
fuck,
He's brave. Knowing that there are these demons running around Jump City.
bro. This guy got kidnapped.
I need to see if they reference that later. If he just doesn't like
I'm
Raven
pretty
now.
sure it gets referenced later.
God, I hope so.
Oh man. So after that happens, everybody's like, "Yo, what did you just do?" And she bolts off. Then later on, Beast Boy and Cyborg go to check on her. She's not in her room. Somehow Cyborg is able to just knock the door off its hinges by knocking on it.
Too strong, man.
How that's possible? I don't get it.
Don't know
Did
my
he
own
not build
strength.
this entire tower?
Probably. Don't know my own strength.
I hate Cyborg's inventions. I hate all of them, by the way. Like
Yeah, they
I swear to God, they built this tower, and he just breaks the door off with a knock.
doesn't know his own strength.
It's ass, is what it is.
Even though I think they're like sliding metallic doors instead of like wooden, actually turn them
They
out and
are.
open it.
It's literally like a titanium sliding door.
I don't know. I don't know how it broke it down.
So the door falls off. They enter Raven's room. They see a mirror on the floor, and because they're nosy as fuck, they pick up the mirror and get sucked into Raven's mind. But they don't know it's Raven's mind, which is the great part. So they're walking around. They get chased around by pigeons and shit. And the first Raven appears. I believe this one is the pink one, right? It's the
Yeah.
happy one where she's all great and everybody's like, the fuck? I think that this was in order of appearance that I have it here. So pink is the first one that shows up, and it's a complete stark contrast of the Raven they've known for however long they've been together as a team. Happy smiles, she's wearing pink. It's sus. Tells Beast Boy he's funny and that she always thought he was funny. And this is where they hint at that Raven Beast Boy relationship that they never pull the trigger on.
Haha, Terra XD. Haha. Ha
That was the saddest episode ever.
ha. I don't
Bro,
remember it. Like I don't remember that stuff that well. I just remember she did him dirty.
bro, that last scene of him in her room as a fucking dog, just just holding on to that box. That shit was dirt.
Nasty.
Nah, she had to die after that. That was dirt. nah, nah, they had to kill her after that. Fuck. Okay, so the pink one appears. Everybody's like, "What the fuck's going on?" Then she disappears, and the gray one appears, and this is the worst section of the goddamn show. Because the gray one is her being timid, it's fear, it's stuff like that. So that one's kind of just like, yeah, I can show you the way out of this labyrinth, but you won't like me anymore. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
And she's being super timid, and Beast Boy actually gets fed up with her with this iteration of Raven, and starts yelling at her. And he's like, wait, shit, my bad. Okay, relax. So they get to the end of the labyrinth, and you guessed it, there's something that there's something at the end of the tunnel where she's like, "Yeah, I told you you wouldn't like me anymore." So it's these two, it's the Gate Guardians from Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. They turn Song of the Thunder and Suijin turn into this four-sword demon thing, and it tries to kill them, and that's when they're saved by the this is the green one, right? The green one does the damn peace. No, it's like the peace sign, and then she cuts it in half, and they're like, "Man, what? Why are you green?" And this is when Cyborg puts two and two together. It's like, wait. He looks at them. He looks at the pink one. He looks at the gray one. He looks at the green one, and he's like, "Oh, oh no, yo, we're in her head." And he's like, "Man, what?" So what happens is the Raven manifests herself, and she's like, "Yeah, you guys gotta get out of here. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out." And they're like, yeah, sure. Psych. So they do the generic thing where they're like, "Yeah, no, we're your friends. You guys don't like me. No, we like you. You're just distant for no reason." It's one of those really feel good episodes by the end, because you get to see a character that, I mean, it really doesn't matter because, like I said, it's a 13 episode season, so everything seems rushed. But to see Raven open up after her just being like, after the first 3 episodes start with her being like, "Yeah, you know what? You guys suck. I hate you guys. Don't talk to me. No, please don't talk to me." And here's the thing: it's not even everybody on the team that she opens up to. It's just those two idiots.
Yeah.
Because when we
Yeah,
get to Switched, which is the next episode, you see it's not the same like everyone else.
yes, it's only these two, which I guess makes sense because like she'll open up to the rest as it goes along, but I don't think she ever opens up to Robin.
Nope.
So
But
it
hey,
gets weird.
he gets shoehorned into the arc that this leads into because Slade's back.
Of course, and I don't think. Well, we haven't watched that yet, but I don't think they grow closer as a result of it.
They don't.
It's just hey, we have a common enemy. Let's get this done and get my friends back. Not your friends, my friends.
Let's get this done so I can beat the piss out of Slade again.
All right, ass beating on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
So Raven reveals that her emotions are very dangerous, and that if she loses control and gives in to anger, the end of the world is coming. And this doesn't come for a while. I believe this is season 4. And Cyborg, being the smart guy that he's supposed to be, is like, "Hey, why don't you just combine all your personalities into one?" Like, I guess she never thought of this? I guess her strong suit is magic, and she's not dumb enough to think of, the power of friendship literally. And Cyborg's just like, but why don't you just combine into, why don't you take all your emotions and throw it at that one? And she's just like, damn, I really never thought of that before. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate this shit so much. She dead said, yeah, so I never thought about that. I'm gonna try it. I'll be right back. So this is the debut of the White Raven. You wouldn't see her again. Actually, you don't see it again until the season 2 opener. How Long is Forever, where Starfire gets sent into the future. As you can see, I did my research. I mean, I remembered these episodes, but I had to do research on certain things just to see where the pieces connect from these episodes to later episodes. And they defeat Trigon and they live happily ever after. The B side of this episode is Robin's watching TV and Starfire is having a breakdown because everybody's missing and Robin's just watching TV. Even though Robin knows they're all in the crib. He doesn't know that they're in a mirror fighting Raven's inner demons. He just knows that they're all in the crib and that nothing is going on. So he spends the entire episode trying to get Starfire to not bother Raven, not to open the door, and he's failing because she has super strength and he is a regular nigga, or so you would think until he fights Cinderblock. Apparently, Robin and Batman got super strength. I don't know. They got that shit in certain places. I couldn't tell you. Roids, fuck you, Doug. Don't talk shit about Batman. That's peak physical strength. Don't do that.
I ain't never seen him do one-handed push-ups before upside down, so
I'm pretty sure he's done it. I'm pretty sure you can find a cartoon of him doing it.
probably. I'm not looking for it though. And if niggas send it to me, I'm not watching it. Next episode.
Switched. The Raven Starfire episode where they become closer through being in each other's bodies. Puppet King's one and only appearance because they kill him at the end of the episode. They kill him at the end of this episode.
He should have been minding his own business.
He was!
No, he was not. He was trying to sacrifice these guys.
Oh my god. Episode opens up, and Raven is meditating in front of the window. All the boys are gone. Starfire's trying to get Raven to hang out with her, and Raven's like, bro, please fuck off. Please go somewhere else. Bro, please. Then the boys come in, they bring a giant crate, and this is where I had the question that I had to ask Tux. Do they get mail delivered, or do they have to go to the post office?
They definitely have a P.O. box.
Because it looks like they went out to get the mail, but did they go to the mainland, or was it just out in front of the crib, or... Like, if I Amazon something to Titan's Tower, do they just not come to the crib? like if I was to Google Maps Titan's Tower, does it just not give me directions?
No, it does. You just can't send shit to it. It's going straight to the P.O. box.
I guess there's a P.O. box, and I don't know.
Because they're so... Slade could have just sent them anthrax and just been done with it.
I don't think he wanted to send them anthrax. Bro, the more I think about it, he's trash. Like, they wrote him like such rubbish. Jesus. That man is trash. So, the boys open up the crate, and they see that it's a bunch of puppets. And that they look really... They're really, like, lifelike. Obviously, they look like shit because it's a cartoon, but... It's the equivalent of getting, you know, a figure that, you know, the figures of the Avengers or whatever, where they look really like, they really do look like the actors, but obviously it's plastic, so it's not going to look 100%, but it's like 60 or 70%. And they're playing around with the puppets, and Raven or Starfire approaches Raven and is like, "Hey, you wanna just have fun with these?" Raven throws her puppet in Starfire's face and is like, "Yeah, knock yourself out." So when everybody is asleep, the puppet man comes alive on some Chucky shit, and it's like, yeah, and he starts snatching souls out of bodies. And for some reason, Cyborg's color is light blue when Raven should be blue, but I think she's like um, she's a deep blue. Cyborg is like a sky blue. Robin's red. Beast Boy is green, and Starfire is yellow. She should probably be. I understand why Starfire is in yellow, but I don't understand why Raven was in black. Or was
She's in
Raven white?
purple.
I think that's what hers was.
You
She
should
was
know.
white and Starfire was yellow. So as everybody's getting their souls sucked out of their ass, Raven's able to use her powers to send this shit into a tailspin, and it ends up switching her and Starfire's souls. Because why not? So they run off. They find out they're in the wrong bodies, and they obviously cannot use each other's powers because they don't know how each other's powers work. But shockingly enough, both of their powers run on emotions because why not? Raven says that she needs to have all her emotions in check, and you know that because of Nevermore, and that, she's not allowed to show emotion because if she does, she'll destroy somebody like Dr. Light again. I like that analogy of the you leave the paper out in the rain and then you let it dry.
Yep.
Ah,
Yo.
boys looking crusty. All right, what else? What else do I have here on this? So, for Star Force powers, in order for her to fly, you need to experience the joy of flight, righteous fury for her star bolts, and boundless confidence for strength. Notice how this is all happy and gung ho shit. Whereas Ravens is literally just the opposite, where it's just like, yeah, feel nothing, and only feel your powers when you. Actually, no, her flying is really fucking stupid. She said, all you gotta do is think about flying, and then you'll fly. And then to descend, all you need to do is look at the ground and think about being on the ground. Then they have a big argument, and then Raven ends it by saying, "You know nothing about me." To which Starfire replies, "Perhaps we don't know enough about each other." And that's when they give each other the backstories that we probably should have gotten on screen, because it would have made more sense. Apparently, Raven's from Azarath. Nobody knows where that is. Nobody knows what dimension that's in. This all gets explained. Both of their origins get explained in seasons 3 and 4, I believe, where Starfire ends up like molting or whatever the fuck that is. And obviously, you have the end of the world, which is Raven's little arc. So they manage to get their powers working. They beat the Puppet King and they knock his controller into the fire and they kill him. They've killed this man and nobody bats an eyelash. I don't understand this.
Who cares? That was not real anyway. Forget it.
Who cares?
He wasn't
Robin
real.
props up the dead body in his fucking evidence room.
Yep.
It's nasty. It's
This
nasty.
one going. This one going in the trophy room, boys.
It's so nasty. They killed this fucking puppet man and put him in the trophy room. This one going on the wall, boys. All right, next episode is supposed to be Beast Boy focused, but it's just a Beast Boy disrespect reel. It's Deep Six. It's the Aqualad debut episode, and I believe it's Trident's debut and only appearance till all the villains come back and calling all Titans. To my knowledge, I didn't actually fact check this one. So,
Okay, hold on.
episode opens up with Trident stealing some damn I don't know what this is. Some radioactive material off of this damn freighter, and then it appears that he's in multiple places at once, obviously through cloning or through whatever technique. Then the first of Cyborg's many inventions hits the screen. In what did he call this? He called it, I think it's like the T sub. I don't remember what it was called. I want to say it was a T sub. But this thing is orange. It's a big orange and gray ship where they're all in different parts of the boat. I want to know where they. I assume that all their money is through Wayne Tech because during Assassin or the Apprentice, which is this 2-part season finale of this season. I just lost my train of thought, but yeah, the
He
Wayne
talks
Tech
about
is
I already have a father or something like that. Or
well
you talking
that's
about
later.
what in
That's
a
in the Apprentice. I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm on Deep Six right now.
yeah. You're saying that where they
Yeah,
get their money
I was
from.
trying to figure out where the money came from because Wayne Tech is also the site of that first Robin versus the Titans scene in The Apprentice, Part 2, I think it is. So they go underwater, and Beast Boy is talking a bunch of shit about, hey, you notice my hood, right?
Well, stay.
You know I do this, right?
Yeah, gassing himself up this whole episode. Like it's not at that
So
water level.
so Trident appears and he starts shitting on the ship. Beast Boy goes outside and gets outsped by every aquatic creature in the water. It doesn't matter what animal or aquatic creature he turns into, he is slower than the real thing. I don't know if that's him being out of shape or just being trash, but he's slower and weaker than anything in the water. Aqualad appears, and then Beast Boy chases him down because he's dumb. And this whole episode is Aqualad and Beast Boy trying to one up each other. Well, it's more so Beast Boy trying to one up Aqualad because he feels threatened. This is just the male version of Sisters right now. Like this is instead of actually giving Beast Boy an exposition episode, it's literally just Sisters, but he doesn't know this guy and he doesn't turn into aquatic shit very often. I mean, regardless, I feel like if you're saying, yeah, I'm the fish man, this is what I do, you'd be able to display your skills and not be trash. So the T sub is damaged and they go to Aqualad's Cove and they meet I believe his name is Tram or whatever it is, the fish man. He's a better scientist than Cyborg, which is kind of fucked up. But he's able to fix the T sub. Beast Boy and Aqualad go on surveillance to find Trident. They find him. However, it turns out that he indeed is cloning himself, and he has thousands upon millions of clones sitting in this underwater cave. And how do they beat all these clones? They don't.
They just trapped him in the cave. Yeah.
They they get them with Trident's arrogance. I guess they both learned a lesson about arrogance, and they were like, "Hey, which one of you is the strongest? It's got to be the real one, right? Well, I'm the real one. No, I'm the real one." And then it's a big battle royale between this guy and himself, and all 4 million clones of himself. And they eventually just trap all the Tridents in a cave, and he's never to be seen again until he gets one shot by some random nigga in Calling All Titans or whatever episode is. Also, the submarine is orange, but the T car in Car Trouble is the cyborg colorway. So what happened there?
I guess they probably made the communicators first, and
Yeah,
then
but the
they're like,
communicators are yellow.
I thought it was orange.
No, they're yellow with the black accents.
Oh, then I don't know.
Why is that one orange? Does anyone know that's orange?
It might be.
I don't know. So the end of the episode is Aqualad in front of the Titan's Tower, and they give him a communicator. And his next appearance isn't until Winner Take All, which is probably one of the best one-off episodes. And the end of that episode hints to a Winner Take All Part 2 with all the female heroes in that verse. But that never happens because I guess they just scrapped the idea. I don't know. Next episode is Masks, which is another one of the overarching episodes for this the season's arc. At first, it was Divide and Conquer, Final Exam. Then it's Masks, and then it's Apprentice. Those are the 4 episodes that really, or I guess it's 5, right? Yeah, those are the 5 episodes that have to do with this season's overarching theme of Slade and Robin's whatever this is supposed to be. So this is a lot of people's favorite episode because it's the debut of Red X, who would later be Jason Todd, allegedly, according to the people who wrote the shit. I don't know why this was a thing. I guess it's to, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what's the point of having Jason be Red X later on. Even because what happened to Jason had nothing to do with Dick at that point.
Yeah. Unless he thought the idea was cool and was just like, alright, I'm gonna take it. This is mine now.
I don't know, because that show was in Titan's Tower, and he snuck in there and stole. They have the worst security fucking ever, by the way. Jesus Christ. There's also the debut of the Slade bots, and as this episode opens up, Robin's in his evidence room, and if you look around, like if you pause and look around, the evidence room has little tidbits and Easter eggs from all the Rogues Gallery so far. So I'm just gonna skip ahead here. I'm gonna go to the meeting of Red X because this is the real meat of the episode. So the Titans, Sin, Robin go out there and they end up fighting Red X. They get washed. Once again, they draw the parallel to Batman, where Robin has anti-hero protocols for each and every one of his teammates.
Right.
Why? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I know why, but damn, they're really pouring it on that. Yeah, this is Batman's guy, by the way, because he slaps an X onto Cyborg's back that completely shuts him down. It shuts his whole body off. It's an EMP that shuts his whole body off. He throws an X that I guess turns into a hyper strong material that Starfire can't break out of. Throws an X on Raven's mouth. That's an adhesive that stops her from speaking, even though she's able to use her powers without speaking. But hey, I don't know. He throws one at Beast Boy that turns into a strong glue-like adhesive that holds him into place. And then he runs off, and they're like, "Damn, we really got shit on." That's crazy. Then they go back to the tower and they tell Robin about X, and Robin's just like, "Oh, that's nice," cause it's him. That shit is so foul. You beat up all your friends talking about, "Damn, still got waxed, huh?"
Damn, wish I was there. Would have been different.
Wish I was there is sick.
That's what he said. Like, if I was there, would have gone down different.
Would have went different.
Hot on Slade's trail. But when this guy have a better lead on Slade, since he's doing things for him. Ah, sorry, another lead popped up. See you guys later.
The second fight between the two goes a little bit better, but they still just get beat. They're all prepared for the tricks, the X tricks, but Robin's just a better fighter because he has actual combat training, and they're all just there. So he deals with them. He throws Beast Boy onto the train tracks for some reason. and then has to go
Wait a
get
minute.
him.
Yeah. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not trying to kill him.
He said, "Wait, shit." So he saves Beast Boy. They and then this is when they realize that Red X is him, because they go back. Robin's gone. Star goes into the evidence room, and then she knocks over, I guess, a hologram that shows that Robin, the Robin that they saw wasn't a real Robin. It was just a hologram. So X meets, quote, Slade. Slade knows it's Robin, and he says that he's been watching him. Robin fights and gets the upper hand on Slade, but it's revealed that it's a robot the entire time, because the Slade bots are on par with whatever Kung Fu Robin has learned from Batman. Because I guess Slade has made it better, and Slade was in like kumites and shit, and he just can't be stopped. And so the episode closes with Robin in the evidence room, the same way it starts, but this time, actually no, it's the same exact way, where Starfire comes in and then the alarm rings, but this time there's no alarm. It's Star asking why he didn't say anything, and he was like, "Well, if you guys knew it was me, you wouldn't have went all out," which is true, because they didn't want to hurt him, because we're mans and all, but he needed
Yeah.
it to be real. And then during the fight, Slade says we're alike, and Robin's like, "I'm nothing like you," but then Star shoots him in his chest, and is just like, "Yeah, no, you niggas are alike, because even though the same way Slade didn't trust you, you didn't trust us." And then she walks out, and he's left to wallow in his sorrows in the evidence room. And the next episode is the Goat episode. Goat episode. Goat. Mad Mod
Yeah,
episode.
of all the one-offs, this one was the best.
This is the best one-off in the season. You didn't need to have any more. Cause this is Mad Mod is my favorite and the GOAT villain of this series. Nothing comes close. Just because of how ridiculous the episode is. So it's an episode of references. Mad Mod himself is a Beatles reference. There's a bunch of references to Scooby Doo, to art with the portraits on the wall. Episode opens up with the Titans strapped to chairs because the security sucks. Like, their security is so bad that he just put knockout gas in the tower and kidnapped all of them.
Old ass man too. Not even like
This
grown ass
old
man.
ass man put knockout gas and was able to move Cyborg, who weighs like 4,000 pounds. I just don't understand. Y'all need better security. It just comes down to that. You really just need better security. So Mad Mon is it's just a wacky episode where they're trying to fight him, and he's able to effortlessly dodge any attempt they throw at him. And he ends up locking them all in rooms and trying to hypnotize them, which only Beast Boy is affected by because, well, he's like 2-digit IQ. So it's a running gag of there being these hypno screens, and Beast Boy continues to get caught in them. So each time they have to do something increasingly more disgusting. Like at first it starts out mild by just saying boogers. Okay, snaps them out, great. But then we get more egregious to where Cyborg gives Raven a wet willy. Of all the people to give a wet willy, the person you know has to keep her emotions in check. Are you crazy?
Yeah, he actually almost just brought about the apocalypse with that bullshit. Can you imagine?
Bro,
He actually
he's
felt the
so
type of way of
lucky.
it.
He's so lucky that she has a cap on that shit. He wet willies Raven of all people. And it was nasty too. His whole entire fucking finger was coated in saliva. Dripping
Disgusting.
off his hand and shit. And bro, they then they do the Scooby Doo angle. The K2G starts playing. They go through the doors where it goes. You can get big, small. He passes through with a car. He peeks out and then goes back in. Then they all check each door. Then they get to the last door. They open it, and there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex in there. So it's all around fun. They finally get to what looks like the outside, but it's really not. It's just a sheet that they all rip through and end up back in the foyer. They also managed to do the Looney Tunes spot where Mad Mod ran into a painting on the wall and these niggas just slammed into the wall. So it's a really good episode. It's personally my favorite episode of the season, even though it has nothing to do with anything.
It just felt like for a throwaway episode, it had a lot of fun with what it was doing. Like it didn't want to take itself seriously. Like it didn't need to have like a lesson behind it because they knew that if they tried to put a lesson in this, it would have been ham-fisted as fuck because nothing makes sense. It's just all right. A British nigga is fucking with us. Let's beat the fuck out of him, and that's what they did. It was fun.
So eventually, one of those light chainsaw things puts a tear in one of the projectors that's projecting the the hypno screens. Robin jumps through it and starts just ripping things, and the entire thing comes undone. And it turns out that they're just in a really big studio where he's just been rigging things up on wires and mirrors and stuff. And it turns out that he's actually like 60 years old, probably even older, and that the Mad Mod you saw was just a projection. Well, up until the Independence Day episode where he literally steals the youth of people and goes back to that state. I think that's a season 3 episode as well. But Mad Mod gets sent to jail and everything is back to normal. Or as normal as they could be. Car trouble. I'm just gonna jump right through that. Cyborg builds a car. Gizmo steals the car. Riven teaches Cyborg a lesson on nothing. Overload takes over Cyborg's car, and Cyborg blows his car up. Oh, and Cyborg's supercar is stolen by some niggas from Happy Days. Now you tell me how a superpowered car with nitrous in it gets stolen by regular means.
And niggas just opened the door, hopped in, or they just broke the window, hopped in.
No, they didn't break the window because the window was fine. I'm pretty sure the window is bulletproof glass.
I don't know how they got in there.
They just managed to steal his car and leave.
And nothing went off, no alarm, just alright, we out.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't get it. Not an alarm went off. They just stole the car. And nobody saw the car get stolen, apparently. But yeah, that's another throwaway episode. Before we get into Apprentice Part 1 and 2, it's season finale time. And they get right to the shits.
But before we talk about that, the fact that Gizmo just comes back, no explanation. How the fuck did you get out of jail? Or whatever. How did you get out of school? Like, what are the rest of you here? What's going on with them?
Yeah, I completely left that out.
I guess they don't need to explain it since it's a throwaway, but like when they come back and they act like this shit didn't happen, it's gonna look trash. Because this episode was kind of trash, other than Cyborg.
Well, no, because here's the thing: when Gizmo reappears, it just becomes an eternal blood feud between him and Cyborg. So it doesn't matter that this episode is never referenced again, because it just becomes another notch on the belt of, damn, I really hate you, by the way.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, unless we're literally starting to call these episodes filler,
no,
they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be just like side stories that happen to show that these guys have a lot going on. Unless we're literally calling it filler, then you really didn't need this because Gizmo actually gets arrested by the police. And then
he gets arrested again by the police.
I assume later it's just gonna be like, oh, the hive's back. Wait, wasn't that nigga in jail who busted him out? Which one of you fuckers did it? But I
Cause
guess
Slade
not.
is dead by the time they come back again. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably.
So who
So it's
gets
not
them
like
out?
he's
Maybe the school just bails them out.
yeah, just pay his money. Hey, my students, thanks. Why?
I don't know, man. That's nuts. By the way, like when you think about it, maybe it is blood. I don't know. But yeah, car trouble was. You can skip that. You can skip most of these episodes, really. The only ones you really, really, really can't skip are Nevermore, Switched, Masks, and Apprentice 1 and 2. Oh, I guess Final Exam. But everything else is you really could have. I could have never seen Blackfire ever again,
I
and
didn't need to either.
I would have been satisfied. Like had Blackfire debuted in that like season 3 or 4 episode where Starfire is going through the metamorphosis or whatever, it wouldn't have changed anything. I would have just learned who that character was. That's all. Rather than that episode starting up and me going like, "Oh damn, it's fucking Blackfire again." Jesus. I don't know. Let's hop into the season finale time. Apprentice 1 and 2, they get right to the shits. Episode opens up, Slade calls them out. Yo, if you guys don't stop this shit, I'ma freeze half the entire city. There's a flash freeze bomb. The entire episode circulates around the Titans chasing the Slade bots around with this bomb. And by some act of God, Robin gets detoured off and fights Cinderblock.
Yeah, he's there.
Cinderblock is there with a GPS in his hand, and Robin beats his ass.
Bro,
Like,
Robin actually works the fuck out of him.
he put hands and feet all over Cinderblock and beat him senseless.
He actually hurts him too. Craziest part.
and and when Robin gets into Slade's little danger room or whatever, he's like, "Oh damn, I didn't think that. I thought that you would never get here since you were struggling with Cinderblock." And okay. So here's the thing about Slade. Slade is a super soldier, so him being able to beat up Cinderblock and stuff like that with ease makes sense. Robin is not on any type of drug, so him
He's
beating up Cinderblock looks stupid.
just some nigga, bro.
It's
He
just like when
actually
Batman beats up Darkseid. It looks dumb.
how are you he's not human. He's actually just something else. And you're beating him. How?
No,
How
he's the closest thing to a god, if not a god.
Alright. And
And
you
Bats
just
put hands on him.
alright, bro. Do your thing, Bats. Good.
So the Titans finally catch up with the bomb, as it might as well be a split screen here where they catch the Slade bots with the bomb. They're trying to dismantle it. Turns out it was a dud, but they get shot up by some bio laser, and they get infected with nanites that they don't know they're infected with. Robin is fighting Slade. He's not getting the upper hand at all. And Slade is just like, "Yeah, you might want to stop fighting me, Robin. So why would I do that?" And then on his 47 TV screens comes up the Titans vitals, showing that he can kill them at any time, and forces Robin to comply with his demands, which leads Robin to put all his gear in his locker, I guess, in Slade's house. He puts all of his gear in Slade's in his house. Or I guess Slade's or his room in Slade's house. Jesus, I don't know why it took me so long to get out. He puts all his stuff in his new room because his new dad is like, "Yo, it's time." Robin's like, "Yeah, no, it's not time, by the way." So that ends Apprentice Part 1. Part 2 opens up with Robin being on location trying to steal some stuff from what gets revealed as a Wayne Tech building. He fights the Titans. It's like they're asking where he's been, what's been going on, what happened, why is he doing this, and he's just beating them up.
Can't say shit, Robin. Remember, you say shit, your friends are dead.
Slade is in his ear constantly telling him to do things. Use the blaster. Robin says nothing. Slade starts screaming in his ear with feedback and all. He doesn't use it, so Slade flips the switch, and everybody starts dying because, well, they've got nanites in them, and this is how they find out. So he forces Robin to use the blaster, and Robin has problems because he turns that blaster up to 11 and shoots Starfire in the face. I don't understand.
Didn't need to turn it up. You could have left it.
He could have just shot, but he turned it all the way up and shot her in the face.
She's an alien. She'll be fine. She'll be alright.
I guess that's what he thought, because he had to make it look good, because he turned it all the way up.
Definitely his fucking thought process.
But Jesus Christ. So the next time Robin fights the Titans, it's, what's up, bro? What's going on? Raven dismantles the, oh no! So here's the thing. They all got knocked out, and Robin is waiting for them to wake back up. And as they wake back up, now Robin is here, and now he's putting hands and feet on his former teammates. So, this looks good because Robin, or I guess Slade, is using Robin to destroy any sense of integrity he has left. He's having him steal. He's having him beat up his friends. He's using Robin to drive a wedge between Robin and his friends. And it's a physical wedge because he's having him beat them up. And it's tearing him up inside, so it's breaking him down mentally and emotionally as well. Or at least it should be, but Batman's kid. Here we are. That guy's emotions don't exist, so the only emotion Batman and his kids have is anger, apparently, so all the damn Bat kids just angry. I don't know. So Robin handedly puts the Titans to sleep, and he returns back to the base, where the Titans finally realize what's going on. There are nanites inside them. The funny thing about this is, instead of just like searching his own body, he rigs up Beast Boy up to the main computer in the lounge and realizes that there's nanites in there. And for some reason doesn't know how to get them out. I guess he can't get them out. I guess this Slade tech is too much for people with infinite Wayne Tech money. Who knows? I couldn't tell you. So the Titans, knowing they're infected with nanites, knowing that they're going in at a loss, decide to storm Slade's base anyway. And they join Robin. Robin's also in progress fighting Slade at this point. He's losing. And ultimately, everybody just gets, they get whatchamacallit. Slade flips the switch, everybody starts dying because, well, they're dumb. They didn't, they didn't prepare, they didn't figure out any countermeasures. They're just at the mercy of these nanites.
Yeah, there was no plan. They just decided, let's just jump in, fuck it. Not like let's stop Slade before he can like activate these things or anything like that, or try and like beat him up. Just, hey, we're here. We don't care if we die. Stop playing with it for his team, Robin. And it's just like, okay, all right, good plan, guys.
And what does Robin do? You know what? The only way for me to win this is if I join you guys in the idiot club. So he jumps at the strobe light that distributes this cancer and infects himself with it. So now, on Slade's little 47 TV setup, Robin's vitals appear now. and he's infected with the nanites, and it forces Slade to destroy the controller, and the Titans put hands and feet on him, and he runs away because who knew Slade couldn't handle fighting 5 people at once, especially people in their fucking early to or mid to late teens. They made Slade look really bad in this part.
Yeah, honestly, he should have just put hands and feet on them and then got away. And then Robin just like, I don't care. I'll get him next time.
They beat him. They beat his ass. This did not look good in the slightest. It it's not okay. So to close up this season, you can tell it was their first time on TV. They had just been given. They'd been given a chance. They were told, "Yo, we'll give you 13 episodes. Make the shit happen." So that's why there really wasn't enough room for them to. There wasn't enough room for them to do things that they clearly wanted to do. They planted seeds for a later season, and I assume I want to say it was like halfway through the season is when they got renewed for a season 2, and that's why we got Nevermore. Because let's see, Divide and Conquer Sisters, Final Exam, Force of Nature, Sum of Its Parts. That's 5 episodes, and depending on those 5 weeks, those episodes probably did great, so they already renewed it for a season 2, and that's when they decided to do Nevermore and switched and stuff like that. Tux, how did you feel overall?
I didn't really like the season overall. Because, maybe I was spoiled by, what's that show called? Young Justice, where it's like the action is good. Even if I don't like the characters, they'll become good eventually. It just feels like they already have an established plan for these guys, and whatever we get is like what we get. So I like the episodes where it's like two unlikely people teaming up together, which is usually mostly the Raven episodes because she doesn't seem like she wants to team up with anybody. The Slade shit was cool, but as I said during the watch, like I felt that his whole plan revolving around getting Robin as a apprentice, and then not like having him pull off some big crime, but just having him as an apprentice is kind of trash because you're like throwing a bunch of pieces to the fucking wayside. Cinder block, fucking
Plasmus, the
Plasma,
Hive.
the Hives, throwing them all to the wayside just to have Robin is just like, okay. And then getting hands and feet put on you by those same people that you took. Maybe that's why he kept throwing those fucking Slade blocks. Because if he knew he went out there, he was gonna get his ass whooped.
No, that's disrespectful. I'm not gonna stand for that.
Uh, you don't have to stand for it because I'm saying it. And then Cyborg figures out how to get the probes out later when he couldn't have to be. Get me out of here. Get me out.
No, he only figured it out because they took the strobe light.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Well, then why didn't they just go in under the guise of, all right, well, like they have the means to sneak around, and Beast Boy can turn it into fucking mice and shit like that.
Because Slade is omnipotent.
I guess. Not omnipotent to see these niggas pull up to his house and beat the fuck out of him.
He was fighting Robin. He didn't have a chance to see these niggas pull up to the crib.
That's just garbage.
Oh no, it is.
He's
I'm not.
Omnipotent. What the fuck?
Bro, that guy knew that Red X was Robin somehow, some way.
Just throw 3 of the Titans at Robin and then have Beast Boy sneak in and look around. Well, what can I see? Just start recording shit. So Cyborg has an idea. I have them gain the upper hand by using a creative way to use these characters instead of just, all right.
They brute forced him and beat him.
The power of friendship will get us through today. No, it won't. The power of friendship is gonna get you all fucking killed.
They literally ran up in power of friendship the man who had an answer for everything.
It's not good.
Like,
yeah,
he was in Robin's head and still lost. Bro, he set up the plan was perfect. Cause look, he sets up the bomb. Everybody runs at the bomb. He sets up Cinderblock, knowing Robin's gonna run after Cinderblock. He successfully splits them. He knows Robin's gonna beat Cinderblock, so he gives Cinderblock a GPS to his location. Robin beats Cinderblock and gets there. The Titans eventually get the bomb, and he shoots them with the nanites. This is checkmate.
He
This
actually
is an
just
entire
he
checkmate
fried them.
situation.
He fried them, and that's why I'm mad how it ended the way it did. Because it's like you could have done so much more to like have them figure out a creative way to beat him. They just didn't care. They didn't. Fuck it. Was it? Fuck it. Not have Cyborg slave over finding a fucking way while the rest of them have to stop Robin, or at least attempt to stop Robin from committing crimes. Like they're not committed to having this be a struggle in the slightest. They're just, all right, we have a problem. All right, problem is unbeatable. Only solution, throw ourselves at the problem. All right, problem fixed. There's no looking. There's no trying to find it. It's just we have to end this episode at this time. Don't want to have them do anything else. No montages. Fuck it. Just
It's the
end it.
same. It's the same thing that happens with Final Exam, where they can end the episode when Beast Boy and when they get kicked out of the no, not even when they get kicked out of the tower. When Robin falls into the damn sewer, you can cut the episode there. Hit to be continued. Or when the Titans get kicked out of Titans Tower, have it to be continued.
At least just show us like where you're going with anything that you like. How do you just have Robin disappear in that part of the show, or that specific episode, and not have like a I fucking figured this out while I was by myself, not doing jack shit. Just like, or at least when he pops back up, just have him explain how he knows, like what he learned from fighting them the first time, if he was paying attention to everything. Like I know how to beat them because while your hand is here, you can mess with Gizmo's shit this way. We can fucking distract Mammoth by doing this. Jinx's power looks fucking broken, but she could also turn it against herself. Like have them explain. Like it's just stupid.
Oh, they did.
Sure,
It was all in the ad break.
Yeah, people can say, "Oh, show not tell," but like, what is the point of having Robin disappear? So what does that add to the episode?
Robin literally fell
Oh,
into the ether for no reason.
they realize that without their leader, they can't beat them. But how does he? They couldn't have figured this out before, or is it just because scattered they couldn't do it? And if you want to show that scattered they can't do as well as they can together, we already had divide and conquer. So what's the point of having that twice in the same season? Okay.
Hey man. Yeah.
Like
So
that should have been my favorite episode because it was perfect match against the Titans, and then there's just this big ass gap where without Robin they're trash, and then with Robin they're suddenly broken.
no,
guess
they
the
were
teams
trash
together.
with Robin. They lost
Yeah,
together.
No, yeah, that's right. Trash with Robin, trash without Robin, godlike with Robin. How? Doesn't make sense.
That's the Batman power up. Lose one time to win the next time.
Yeah, I didn't like.
Bane broke his back, and then Bats came back and just beat his ass.
Stupid.
So, final score for me, I'm gonna give it a 6 because this is out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 6 because it is above average in places. Like the fact that it's an overarching story for the season, and then certain episodes count and others don't, is good and bad. It's a double-edged sword.
I think
Oh.
I'd probably give it like a. Or are you done? Or are you still?
Well, no, go ahead, cause you give your score and then and your reason why, and then we'll do some more stuff after that.
I'm gonna give it a 6 too, because sure it has an overarching story, but like the cool shit that they present, they don't wanna go all in on with like I said throughout the whole thing, like a lack of like two parters for the cool shit. They just want to present cool idea, give you a little bit of time to sit on it. All right, we're cutting it short because the episode's over. We're not coming back to it. Or maybe it'll be better done in a different episode that's actually two parts. But at that same time, that episode's not going to be like as cool as episode before. So fuck you.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities.
Plus,
Like
just the amount of filler is just, come on, bro.
Yeah.
And some of it was cool, but not enough of it.
The biggest con of this season is there's nothing. There's a lot of nothing throwaway episodes that don't add anything. Yeah, it brings the characters together, but you can literally do that in story arcs. I don't need to I don't need a throwaway episode about Starfire's sister for her to become closer with Robin. You did it perfectly in Masks, where he alienated her. You start with that and then build off of that. Where he alienated her and the entire team because he acted on his own instead of acting with the team. The pros of the season are just, I mean, well, when it's good, it's good, for lack of a better term. But when it's bad, it's awful.
Yeah, it's just really, really boring at first.
All right,
You
so that's
introduced
gonna
the
be. What was
yeah,
that?
we can just. I was gonna say like you introduced the rival characters twice, and one of the times is just one of them with a really stupid plan to steal a car. Come on, bro.
Okay, come on.
Come on.
Gizmo came back to steal Cyborg's stolen car. That seems to just be a regular car, by the way.
Regular car, but with like Cyborg's colorway, and he just really likes it. And it might have guns or something like that. You don't know, but they never use it. It's just there.
It's some bullshit, man.
Get me out of here.
That's fucking crazy. All right, thank you for watching.